Hey guys, welcome back to the Crafty Nook. Today is the last video in this sewing themed junk journal series that I've been doing because we're finished. She is chunky, she is squishy, and she is fabulous, and I am almost sad to see her go. Every time I do one of these swaps, I make a beautiful journal, and it just almost pains me to send it away. I gotta start making two at the same time or something because I want to keep her. So this is the cover, which we've been seeing. It's just a patchwork of different fabrics on the outside and different laces and things. And then I added a book plate, and this is removable for the recipient to change that out if they want to. I have a button here to hold down the seam binding. I sewed the seam binding with the button. So I sewed through the seam binding when I sewed the button on. So it is attached just by the button. Now there is a little wiggle room with the button, so if you wanted to wrap it around, you could. And then we open her up. I added a button over here because I'll be honest, I was gonna do an eyelet, but it just didn't, the button looked better to me. So in this pocket is a thing of seam binding. It's brand new. This was actually my grandmother's. So that's in that pocket. The inside cover is a patchwork collage, whatever you want to call it, of different papers and the instructions and the pattern envelope as well as the pattern. This is the inside. I hope I'm in frame. She's a long one. I think she's like 15 inches maybe. Oh, 18 inches, my bad. By 8.5, but when she's closed, and the signatures are 5.5 by 8.5. And so in this pocket, ooh, I actually have a whole stack of things. So I like to send a few little goodies with my journals. So I'm going to cut these out and stick them in this pocket. These are some die cuts. And inside here are the leftover die cuts that I did not use in the journal. And this is just a printable pocket that I doctored up a little bit, and I've got it sitting in this folder, pocket, which is made out of the envelope and backed with some cardstock. And then the rest of the goodies that I'm sending is this book, this needle book, because I think it kind of goes. I didn't expect it to be this on the inside, but I'm going to send it anyway. So it'll go maybe in the pocket with this or clip to a page somewhere. And then the rest is just some fabrics from the journal, some pattern, and some of the printables that I ended up not using. Thought it might keep it cohesive for the recipient. I pulled this out of the back pocket when I was showing you the back of the journal. Inside, this is an envelope from 1940. It's empty. It's vintage and empty. And so what I'm going to do is write a letter to the recipient, because this journal has really been kind of therapeutic for me. I had intended on making a sewing themed journal now, because my grandmother passed away a month ago, and she was a sewer. And so I had intended on making a sewing themed journal to kind of honor her memory. And this swap popped up, and I just felt like it was my Gigi calling to me, telling me I needed to go ahead and make this journal. And I've used a lot of her stuff, and a lot of authentic vintage stuff. This pattern is from 1987. So all that to say, I'm going to write a letter and put in this envelope to just talk about my Gigi and how much making this journal meant to me and how I hope the recipient really enjoys it. I'm going to use my typewriter to do that. So let's start this flip through. I've been talking for 17 minutes. So this is one of the piece of the instructions with some of the patterns sewn on, or sewn into a ruffle and then glued on. This is a Raindrop Lila printable. These are tailor-made journal. This is a tailor-made journals printable that I distressed. I have a video that I'll link. And then some Tim Holtz stuff and some stuff from Pinterest. These pockets were part of the printable from Raindrop Lila. Inside this pocket or envelope is one of the distressed printables and a button card, a vintage button card. Then we have a belly band, and it has a tag that I made and another distressed printable. I feel like I still need to put something there. I'm going to think on it. This is from a reproduction of a Sears Roebuck catalog, just in coffee dyed paper. This was the flap from the envelope of the pattern, and in it I have this fabric sample card that I made and one of those Pinterest printables. Another printable from Raindrop Lila. This came from it's called a work basket from 1981. Another vintage or distressed printable with a side cluster tuck spot. Another pocket. And then this is a paper sampler. It even has a piece of Hobby Lobby fabric receipt. Just lots of different papers. And then this is a piece from that work basket. This one is from 1988. And then another Pinterest printable. Coffee dyed. Ledger. No, that's graph paper, not ledger. Another Sears catalog page. I reinforced the folds of all of these vintage papers so they wouldn't tear. Another side cluster tuck spot with a distressed printable, Raindrop Lila. This is a tag made out of some Tim Holtz paper, which I've been hoarding forever like the rest of us. This is the flap of an envelope flip out that I turned into a tuck spot. And this is the envelope flip out, and inside of it is a journaling card that I made. Okay. Then this is some fancy kind of graph paper that I printed on the back. This came in the pattern. It's just like a, I don't know, business card, some kind of something. And I just attached it to the back flap of that envelope and then added some lace. This pocket is one of the printables from Raindrop Lila. Another drilling card I made, an embossed tag. And then this is a matchbook paper sampler that I made, inspired by a woman in a Facebook group that I'm part of. The back of that instruction sheet. Then the next signature, these are my favorite things I made, I think. They are like, they're note cards, coffee dyed note cards that I backed and then added a, what is this? A pattern piece, ruffle, a pocket, printable pocket, and then two of these printable cards. This one has fabric and a little offcut in it. I held down with a button-shaped brad, and that just pops right in there. And then dangling from it are a couple of buttons on some bulb pins. Again, from the Sears Roebuck catalog. This one has a sewing machine, some more graph paper, another sides tuck spot. These are all printables that I distressed. Like I said, I'll have that video linked. This is gorgeous. So the front of the pattern has a real lady in a dress made from the pattern, and her dress was yellow. And that kind of inspired the whole vibe, but then I just didn't feel like having a real person in there. Another tag. This is again some Tim Holtz paper that I've been hoarding. I'm running low. Sears catalog. Some more printables that I distressed. Another side tuck. Inside here is a fabric sampler that I made. I might add some seam binding to the top of that. Some coffee dyed paper, another fabric sample card, another printable from Pinterest inside of another pocket. This pulls out, and it is instructions for the pattern. This is a vintage button card out of my Gigi stash. And then another embossed tag. This is a fabric sampler tag that I made inside of this pocket. That's made with a glassine paper bag. A big side tuck with a printable and a journaling card. Another belly band. This is a Tim Holtz piece, but I thought it matched very well. And then another card or tag made with Tim Holtz paper. I like to keep my journals more on the plain side when I'm gifting or making them for someone, unless they specify otherwise, because it gives you a place to make it your own. The second one of these note cards, embellished note cards with the buttons dangling. And then this is a French flashcard, and it had this embroidered blanket on it. Another envelope flip with a journaling card. Let's see if I can get it back in there. And then this is also a tuck, which I might stick just a little something in so that you know. Oh wait, this will be a good spot for this maybe. No. Okay. And then the last page is the envelope with, this one's more like laces and hanky samples from the outside of the journal. And then the back of the journal. So let me show you the whole cover. This is what the whole thing looks like. And I am just super proud of it. And I love it a lot. And oops, things are falling out. And I hope whoever gets it also loves it. So I find out tomorrow who my partner is, and I can send it out. So thanks for hanging out in the Crafty Nook. Check out my videos in the playlist I'm going to link, where I've done all the things in this journal on video. So don't forget, on my analytics say that the majority of people who are watching are not subscribed. So if you like what you see, come hang out and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.